And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Treeblox, a 3D plan strategy game for 2 players. And straight up, this is a strategy game in which you're putting blocks together, which kind of connect together, sort of like Lego blocks, where they fit in all the different sides, and you are trying to have the most of your color at the top at the end of the game. Let me show you. In this game, there are 2 players. We have the dark player, who's going to play black and the dark green leaves, and the light player, which is going to play white and the light green leaves. And you're going to take turns back and forth. Your first turn, you're just going to put a leaf in any spot on the board. After that, you can do what you want. But at the beginning of your turn, you're going to see what your growth rate is. If you have 3 active leaves, which means when you look from above, you can see 3 of your color, you get 2 moves. Otherwise, you only get 1. So maybe this is my second move, light green's second move, my third move, light green's third move. Now I get to put 2 out. Now, when you put a leaf out, you can only put it into the board or onto a branch of your color. So maybe for green's turn, I'm going to put a branch here, and then I'll put another branch on top of it because you can go up in any direction. Then for light green's turn, they go here and they build a white branch here. So for my turn, I'm going to put one of my branches this direction now. I've covered up theirs. And then I'll stick a green one here. Yes, you can go off the playing area like I just showed. Green is now a little bit scared because they only have 3 showing. And remember, if you only have 2 showing, you only get 1 action. So they're going to place a white one here, and maybe they'll put their green one in that direction. Well, I'm feeling pretty good on this regard, so for my 2 actions, I'm going to put a black one in here and another one here, like this. Then green on their turn decides to put one here and here. And then on my turn, I might put a black one there and a green one on the very top of it. Again, you can do anything you want. You just have to follow those rules. If at any point you have less than 3, you're only putting out 1 at a time. And this is going to keep going. If you have no place to place something, then you have to pass. And if both players pass, that's going to be the end of the game. The game ends when, if there are none of your color showing, you instantly lose. Or if both players pass, the game ends. Or if someone runs out of cubes, then the other person does one last turn, and we go, and we look, and whoever has the most active leaves, which again is just looking at the above top. So right now, dark green has 4, light green has 6. If this was the end of the game, light green would win. That's it. All right, the rule book here is really nice. It has a very nice explanation of it. It also talks a little bit about, why you're doing that. It gives you some strategy tips here. But let's talk about the actual thing itself. So it tells you one side of the board is harder to stick them in than the other. I think this is the easier side. I honestly can't tell. They both seem to stick in well. The cubes themselves, you notice here I turn it upside down. They don't fall off. As you start, and I know these cubes can't attach, but as you do weird things like this, at some point it can get a little hairy, but it's not that big of a deal. These actually fit together really well. I mean, your biggest complaint will be at the end where you slowly take them apart one by one to put them back in the box. But that's a minor complaint. I think this stuff looks well, it works well. It doesn't really look like a tree, but for the abstract strategy nature of this, yeah, these are solid components. Treeblox is what I call weird good, in that I'm always looking for strategy games that do something different, and this feels different. It feels, there's a couple things I like. First of all, the theming of trees, I think of these almost more like vines than trees, but covering each other up, that's cool. Secondly, with the blocks, and as you build it, it has this work of art type thing when you're done. That's also cool. And thirdly, there's some pretty good strategy things in there. What are you going to do? The branches don't score you points at the end of the game, the black or the white, but I want to use those to kind of move up and cover your stuff. And there's a fight. I mean, there's definitely a first player advantage to the game. I think it's slight, but I mean, it's there. But it's an intriguing game. You're not doing a whole lot. You're just kind of moving out. You're spreading your leaves. You're also limited by the number you have. In one game I played, someone put out all their leaves and they were done. They just had branches, and so then they spent the rest of the game putting branches around to cover up the opponent, which is, still works, but less exciting. And also you can back yourself in a corner where you realize, hey, there's no more legitimate places to place my leaves. It's simple. I mean, really, it is an easy game to teach people. I do not think it's necessarily simple to understand how to do well at it, but that's not a problem. And it looks cool. The biggest detriment to the game is I don't think anyone's going to buy it based on this box. This box does not look very interesting. This box, even though it's very accurate what the game is, the box kind of gives off the feeling of like, hey, this is an educational game. I don't know that it's particularly strong educational, but it is a really solid two-player game. It says 15 minutes on the side. That's not far off. And a thinky, two-player, abstract game that feels different. That's cool. We need more stuff like this, I think, in the board gaming hobby. I haven't heard anyone really talking about this one or puffing it up, so I want you to know that this is something to look for. Try it out. So that's Treeblox. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment approved.